Wicked here, and it is Fun Draw Friday. So we are going to have some fun today. We all need to gather ourselves a pencil and an eraser of some kind, a piece of paper, sketchbook, whatever you got on you, and we are going to be drawing two characters from probably one of the best animes all the time, next to Dragon Ball, as far as I'm concerned. It's just my opinion, but my own daughter requested that I draw this as well. She really enjoys the show. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But we're going to draw Eric and Alphons Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our circle. So I'm going to come in with the head here. Let's do, we'll probably start about right here. So make sure you're starting somewhere towards the center, not right in the middle, but just in that level area, just that way we can fit everything. Okay, so I'm going to start with my head shape with a circle. Okay, so now that I have that built out, I'm going to darken it for you guys. You guys don't darken it. I'm going to darken it for you so that you can see it better. Okay, so I'm going to really make sure. Let's do this. Let's turn the face down this way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's see, we got our forehead here, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to come down this way. We want to kind of curve it in a little right here. So right here we can go ahead and come across, because that's about where our eyes are going to be. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of round it back out for the cheek and come down. Now in the show, if you haven't seen it, they have really pointy chins, like traditional anime usually does. So we're going to come and make that almost triangular shape. But we want to kind of start rounding back this way. Okay, and come in that area. So now that I've done that, I don't need this bottom circle anymore. It just kind of helps you set up your head. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to come in here with my nose. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of draw a line out. Now they don't really connect, the noses in the show. It's very rare unless it's a profile view from the side. So we're going to just kind of make it seem like they're touching by just getting as close as possible. I'm going to come down, kind of put like a little slight curve at the bottom, and then we're going to have ourselves a slit for the nose. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of round that just a little bit, like that there. Okay, I'm going to have my mouth come across, exaggerate that a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to start with my eyes. So I'm going to come up from my nose right over here. So I'm going to kind of come up just a little bit, and I'm going to slide over. I'm going to come back with a line. Okay, so again, we're going to give that illusion that they're connecting, so we're not really going to connect that front. So I'm going to come around. I'm going to round this up, and then we're going to turn it and come down sharply with it like this. Okay, so I'm going to thicken that up, because that's usually what they do to represent, that's where their eyelashes are. Okay, so I'm going to thicken that up. I'm going to come down, erase out the inside there. Okay, now right off of that, I can go ahead and we can add in his eyebrow. So for now, I'm just going to sketch it back to here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lightly sketch his actual eyeball itself right here. Now what we want to do is we want to kind of put this kind of rectangular shape here. Okay, then I'm going to put a circle up here for the reflection, and then inside right here is where I'm going his pupil. Okay, then I'm going to thicken the outer edge of that eye, just like that. Okay, now I want to give it some space, so I'm going to slide over a little bit. I'm going to come down and turn in like this. It's going to kind of represent like the edge of the eyebrow there. But I want to kind of check and see where I'm at. So I don't want too much of a space. So I'm going to start a little bit back from this corner here. And I'm going to turn it back this way. Okay, so I'm going to have kind of an arch here. I'm going to turn it down and come across like this. Now if you notice, I'm staying light right now just because I want to see what it looks like, because I may be back too far. So I'm just going to see what it looks like first, so I may need to adjust it. So I'm going to lightly sketch in this eyebrow as well. And let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think we should be okay with that. So let's go ahead and let's refine that. So let's go ahead, come back with the eyebrow. Let's thicken this top line and come down underneath the eye this way. Okay, so again, I want to add those same reflections, so I'm going to add in this kind of like a rectangular shape here, and then I'm going to clean out that sketch line there. Let's add in a circle here. Okay, I'm going to thicken up the outside edge, come around, and I'm going to fill that in right in there like that. Okay, so now that I'm seeing this a little bit more, we have this turned in. Probably want our forehead, since we have the eyebrow here, we want that to come up a little bit higher. So we're going to sketch that and erase this inside. Okay, so now before I do everything else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of my guidelines for my center of my face and my eyes. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is going to start putting the hair in. Okay, so now Edward's got this, well, he's got two pieces coming off here and then an outside edge, and then it goes back into a braided ponytail. So the first thing I want to do is we're going to start with this one on this side, kind of cuts in front of the eyebrow here, so I'm going to kind of come up this way like that, and then I'm going to come up on this side but not go as high. Okay, now I'm going to clean up some of this line work inside there. Okay, and feel free to pause the video if you need to. Alright, so now I'm going to cut back in front this way. Okay, so I'm going to kind of come down at an angle, and we're going to come in front of this area. So now that I have this straight line, I can erase that part of the forehead off. Okay, so I'm going to come back that way, and then I'm going to make a turn in over the cheek like this, and I'm going to bring it back out and go up with it, and I'm going to go up this way. Now here's where things can get tricky. If you just continue to go up, you can kind of make it a little bit too big or too small. One thing I do want to do though is go ahead and erase out that so it's separated from the hair. What I can do is I can take this and pull it up as ever high as it needs to be. Okay, so it's just a little bit taller. But I want to kind of keep things centered in the face, so when it comes up, I'm going to cut in front of it this way, like this. And then we're going to go ahead and come down with it, like that. Okay, so I'm going to go past this area, and then I'm going to bring this line up, like that. Okay, so now it's a little bit more even. Maybe a little on the tall side, so let's bring it down just a tad. Okay, so we're going to bring this down. We want that to be taller, so we want to kind of come up here, and we're going to go this way with it instead. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Alright, now I'm going to come and go ahead and refine this line on the cheek. Okay, we're going to bring that down a little bit farther. Come out this way with it. Clean up that way. Okay, so now that I have that, I can come off the bottom of the cheek here, right, and come down a little bit, and I can come out with it. Now we have this line here. Let's jump over here and finish this one off. It's going to come down, and we're going to go back with it this way. Okay, then we're going to come down here and connect, just like that. Alright, and then I'm going to have a tiny piece of hair comes off this way, and we're going to connect it just like that. Now we have to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so we're going to come in from the eyebrow here on this side. We're going to kind of pass in front of it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of bring it up this way, and then I'm going to come back this way. Okay, so now I can erase right there. Alright, so again, this is the tricky part. We don't want to make it too thick, too crazy. Okay, so we have this line here, right? Well, we have one line comes down here, so why don't we just run one more, comes up that way, and kind of turns out, and then we can curve it that way for now. Okay, and we might make an adjustment, but what I really want to focus on is let's come back down here and we can just connect the two in between like that. Okay, so now we want to get a little bit more control by doing this inside area that's going to run by his face. So we want to come right off right here. Okay, I'm going to come down past the eye just a little bit and kind of curve down like that. Then we're going to come out and go up. Curve that in. So now I can clean up inside this area. Okay, and now that I know that this is where this is going to be, I can solidify that line, clean up the sketchiness all inside this area. If you have to draw back your eyebrow, that is okay. Okay, so I have that now, and now that I have this piece in, okay, I can now make an adjustment to where this bottom line is going to end up. So if we come back here and come out a little bit with this hair and come back, now I can come and kind of round into my face that way. Okay, so what I do want to do though is I want to bring this down some more. I think we're kind of shortening the face a little bit, so let's kind of stretch that chin down a little bit more and really turn this back in to the head, and that'll look a little bit better like that. Okay, so I'm going to continue this hair down. So I'm going to come at an angle here. I'll lightly sketch it out until I have exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so when this comes up, we want to kind of make it look like it has some separation. Okay, I'm also going to draw me a line to here just to kind of help. This. Let's come off of here like this with another point, top portion of the hair defined. And the reason why I'm stopping there is because right in here, what we want to do is we want to put part of his ear in here. Okay, so let's just make this rounded edge. Alright, we're going to put a slight line right there for the ear. And we'll put another one there. Okay, now that I've done that, we can raise this up just a tad. So we're going to come out here past the ear. Let's go higher with that. Okay, let's curve up higher like that, and we can come out this way. Just make a slight adjustment. Let's come up like that. Okay. And then we want to continue this. So we want to kind of come out this way. Okay, so we're going to come out, we're going to come down past the head. Continue swinging it around. And we want it to come down into here. Okay. It's going to look like that. Alright. So next thing I want to do is, before I do the rest of the hair and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and start building up the body a little bit. Excuse me, sorry y'all. Alright, so I'm going to start with his collar. I'm going to kind of come across this way like this. Bring it down like that. Okay, so we have that here. This piece is going to come down this way, like that, and we're going to come down, kind of like that. Okay, now I want to take the neck right off the chin here. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way, and then I want a little bit of skin shown here on the shoulder. So it's going to come down and go in this way. Okay, so like that. And then I'm going to erase the chin away here. And I'm going to come out from this side, so it's going to go behind our hair. Okay, it's going to come out just a little bit. I'm going to start coming down with it. Actually, we can make it even because we have this passing in front like this. We can use this to help us, so we can come up this way and turn it and then curve outward like that. Okay, so we have that set up. I can bring this in like this just to give it some depth. Okay, now we do want this to be our white collar piece. It comes up and gives it an edge. So we're going to kind of turn that back into the head that way. Okay. Now, I want to start here. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go up. And let's turn this way. To the head there. I'm going to curve this back right into here. Okay, so again, once you kind of get these lines and you know that's where you want them, to help save you some time later, go ahead and refine them. You can just kind of go over them, darken them up. Okay, and now that I have that, I have my collar piece here. I want to turn down this way, like that. And we're going to make these kind of like little folds in the collar off where the shoulder of this jacket goes. Okay, come out this way, and we'll stop right there. Alright, now I can add in the rest of his hair. Okay, so I have a little bit of my neck right here. Okay, and then we're going to add in his braid. So I want to turn this downwards some to kind of help keep things even. So I'm going to turn it downwards like this. And then I'm going to come right off this back area right here. I'm going to come down. And we just need to give the illusion of the braid, okay? So it doesn't have to be, you know, each individual braid drawn. So we just want to give that illusion. Okay, so it's like giving it layers, almost. Okay, so we have a line here, and then I can come off here, come down, and a slight marking there. You know what? Let's bring it in just a little bit because we wanted to kind of come off that shoulder. Okay, so I'm kind of coming this way, like that. And like I said, once you have your lines where you want them, just go ahead and refine them. And then we can put kind of a turn in that way for his hair. Okay. So just looking at some stuff that I want to refine real quick. Alright. So now the way his jacket is set up, he's got like a clip almost, and I think that's the other reason I kinda like this show a lot, is I'm real big into steampunk, and it's got that real Victorian era kind of feel to it. But anyway, we're gonna build this out like that. Okay, we're gonna put two metallic pieces there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna round off an edge and give it kind of a 3D look. Gonna stay close to it, just like that. Okay, and we can go ahead and run the jacket close by. Put a couple more wrinkles in that. Go ahead and run that down. And we'll stop here. Okay, so we'll just stop there. I'm not going to go any farther than that line right there, okay? Now that we have this, I can kind of finish bringing my jacket on the other side the rest of the way down. Right, and then we want to carry this line down too. Go ahead and put a slight turn in it down there. And bring this end in and go down as well. Okay, so just so you can see what that looks like. So all I'm doing is just carrying this down, just like that. Okay, now we want to kind of come off the collar here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to refine this since I know that's what I want. Okay, I'm going to come off the collar here, come down into the fold. Just kind of adding that fold in there. Okay. Want that to kind of drop down just a little. Okay. Go like that, and then we'll get one more piece right here, and we'll stop there. Okay, so we can add a few more line details in here. Help sell the jacket a little bit. Okay, so again, I'm not going down too much farther than that. Add a few extra lines in here. Alright. I'll bring that shoulder out just a little just so I have a good cutoff point. Okay, so that's going to take care of Elric, or Eric. Okay, so Edward is good. Keep saying Eric because the last name is Elric, but Edward is good to go. Okay, so now we're going to try to squeeze Alphons in up in this area. Okay, and the nice part is, since we have Edward here in the front, it shouldn't be that hard with too much detail, okay? So I'm going to start right here in this area. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to sketch out our line work. Okay, so Edward is his little brother who lost his soul for something. I won't spoil too much for you, but his brother Edward had to attach him to this armor, or his soul to the armor. Okay, so we're going to kind of make this kind of mountain shape here, but it's a very interesting story for sure. Very entertaining on top of that. Okay, so I want to kind of give this line curve down. So this will be the front of his chest armor plate. Okay, so once that comes down here, I'm going to bring it back. Alright, so now that I have that set up, and I know those are the lines I want, I'm going to go ahead and refine them by going back over them, making them solid. Okay, now next thing I'm going to do is I need to build up the edge of it as kind of like a armor collar, I guess you'd say. So now that I have that, I can come up on this side, up at the top. Excuse me. I'm gonna drop down. Got the hiccups today, guys, sorry. And then we're gonna go down this way. Okay, so that'll be that front side edge. The rest of this is gonna go back and curve back that way. Okay, so now I can come from that point. I'm going to come here to this corner. I'm going to draw it down a little bit. Alright, I'm going to curve this out like this. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the chin of his armor. I think we're making that kind of low. Let's do this. Let's go back. Let's do the chin first, and then we can adjust some stuff. So I'm going to come up from here. Let's move, just go like this, and just kind of go about an inch maybe up from there, and just kind of slightly come back. Let's build the chin up this way. I feel like we're moving it too close to the bottom of the armor here. Okay, so again, we just want to give this kind of a 3D illusion effect, so we don't have to connect it. And from there, I'm going to arch this upwards at an angle. So I'm going to stop there for now so we can readjust this armor part. Okay, but I am going to go ahead and come up here, and we're going to round to like here, and then we're going to come out like this, around it, and come back like this. Now he has this huge horn on the top of his armor, so we're going to draw that. Okay, and then the rest of it we can turn down this way. Okay, so we want to stretch it back as much as we can to keep it even. Okay, so we're going to have that come down this way into the armor. And I'm not going to finish that off until I get these eyes in here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to arch across like this. Okay, and then I can take the eyes, which are just rounded just like that, and then I can draw this circle inside let's make it a little bigger. Okay, so that means the rest of this is they're just glowing eyes inside of a dark hole. I can just leave like that. Okay, I can stretch down a little line like this here to give some separation. I'm also going to do another line here, like this. Okay, then I'm going to come here and draw in his other eye. Okay, I'm going to put that circle in there. Just like that. Okay. So, next thing I want to do is we're going to carry this from like right here. Now the way the armor is built, it has a mask on it, so we want to kind of stretch this out into points. Okay, and what that does is that leads down into his actual face shape. So in order to keep it even, I'm going to kind of work back and forth here. Alright, but he's got these little sharp triangle, almost like teeth to it. Okay, and then it dips down, comes back up, and goes across. Just like that. Alright, now the rest of it's kind of like samurai armor. So we're going to stretch this over and come down and go back a little bit. So now we know exactly how big we want that helmet to be. So now I can erase that out of there. Almost looks like an army helmet now. Okay, I want to give it another edge right here. So let's go ahead and get rid of this because it's just going to be in the way. Okay, and come back, connect it here, and then we're going to come down again to another level, except this time we're going to come off this piece here and curve that back. Just like that. And then we'll just turn the rest of it down. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise this up. Okay. So we want to come across. It's going to be in the same location. It's just going to be a little bit taller. Okay, I'm going to go like that. And we're going to bring this down like this over here. Alright, so that'll help seal the deal on that collar over there. Okay. So that is our face. Now we got to do the same armor piece on the other side over here. So I'm going to come out just a little, and then we're going to drop it down. Let's see, we might want to bring it out some more. Let's come up like here. This way. Just like that. Okay. Now he does have like a grate. It kind of curves up and goes across. It's not huge, but it's there. Okay. So we're going to drop that down. So let's go ahead and put that in. Put these little arches in there. Just like that. Okay. And then we got some coloring in to do, just like we did with the eyes. This whole area in here is going to be dark, so we're going to color that in. Okay. Now, if you're planning on doing this in colored pencil later, or adding some marker, because you know me, I'm just going to do it in black and white, but you can color it if you need to, or if you want to. You can just color it in with a black colored pencil, or a black crayon. It's completely up to you. But I'm going to fill that in. nice and dark in there because there is nothing but a soul that inhabits this armor. So we can't see anything in there. There's a lot of times in the show where Alphons will take his helmet off and there's no head, or people accidentally knock his armor apart, but he's still talking. It's part of the humor of the show. So it's a good balance of humor and action, and it's a really great story. I really suggest checking it out if you haven't done so. Of course, if you're a child, I hope you do that with parent permission and that they watch it with you, because there can be not any massive bad words in it, but they can use the H word and stuff like that every now and then. We're going to come down this way and put the spike on his shoulder. Okay, so let me go ahead and refine that. Right, and then the rest of that just kind of comes down this way. Okay, we have this other edge piece here. Like that. You can put a little bit of some line work in here for shading, just to give it some more dimension. Okay, and a little line here. Actually, let's bring that out. I know I darkened it already, but it's kind of got a big chest. So we're going to bring that down this way, like that. We'll go ahead and we'll just cut that off there. Okay, and there's a reason why I'm doing that. Last thing we want to add to Edward is he has the ribbon attached to his head. So we're going to see a little bit of that. We're only going to draw the one on this side. So we're going to add that like this. And we're not going to get too overly complicated with it. Okay, so I'm going to cut back in front of that, just to give it some depth. And actually, let's extend that out just a little bit. And we'll come in. Okay, and we'll cut up this way. Put a line, have a little bit kind of come out from the bottom here, and curve back into the helmet that way. Okay, and the next thing we can do, we can put like these cool little like effects in there, right? So we can add in, because when they do their alchemy, you really want to thicken those edges up. You want those to stand out. Okay, but when they do their alchemy, it's usually like an electrical effect that happens. So we can just kind of randomly add those in, and they'll look really good when if you choose to color it. So I'm just putting in these random kind of lighting effects on it. Again, you want to make sure that you sharpen, not sharpen, but thicken up those edges for this, just to help it stand out as something separate. So make sure you go around them and thicken the edges up. And you don't have to add this lining if you don't, but so I mean, we're pretty much done drawing it. I'm just adding some little extra details in there. And then of course I'm going to do my black outline. So it's not something you have to do, it's something you can do. So I'm just going to thicken those up like that. I'm going to put a big blast coming out from this area for dramatic effect. Just because we can. Alright. Okay. So same thing, we'll put a few sparking across his body. So like I said, make sure you show that separation, you thicken up those edges. I'm going to also kind of refine sketchy line work as well while I'm over here doing it. But we'll just add another piece of it over here. So again, I'm going to thicken it up. Make sure there's that separation. Add some in here. You do that stuff, you need to make sure you erase anything that's behind it, and again, just really thicken up those edges, because if you want it to stand out and show separation, that's the only way to really do it until you color it, if that's something you choose to do. Okay, piece of electricity there. Maybe you have one arc across this way, kind of crackle, have it look like it's almost touching that. Again, we'll stretch that out, have it arc across, and crackle down that way. Again, we want to thicken those edges up. I'll erase out that line from the back lightning arc, just so it passes in front. So we're going to pull that back, thicken that up. Thicken that edge, maybe put a little piece down in here, just kind of adding stuff wherever, you know, you deem it necessary. So all I did was kind of add a piece there. Let's do another wrap around. Just gonna have an arc across. Like I said, you don't have to do all this lightning if you don't want to. I just wanted to add a little something extra to it. Let's do this. Come up this way, go down. Okay. Crackle that over. Just like that. Again, I need to go through and erase out anything behind the lightning. Okay. I'm going to go through and thicken it up. So just go around that. Add in a few more little pieces here and there. And touch it up and call it a day. But like I said, this is probably one of my absolute favorites next to Dragon Ball Z. I strongly suggest checking it out if you can. Okay, so we have some lightning there, some crackles coming off there. Let's bring one more, kind of shooting off up here. We got a few pieces here. We can put one more shooting off around there. And have some coming out from behind them. Again, just gonna help add to the scene and get a little bit more dynamic than we usually do with this stuff. But I really just wanted to tribute a decent piece of artwork for the show. And it's an old show too, so still the animation holds up and the way it looks. So a little bit of cracked lightning back here behind Alphons with some little sparks here. Okay, so I think that'll do it for the lightning. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the edge like I usually do and thicken it up. And remember, I usually just do it around the outside edge, so there's not going to be any inside lineage except for like on that face, like I usually do. So I'm just sticking to the outside. If you need to refine some lines now, like darken them up, that you can do. But the thick part, I usually just reserve for the outside edge. Okay. So like I'm gonna come here, I get down the side of the face. I'm just gonna refine that. I'm just gonna kind of thicken up the line on the edge of his face. I just like to kind of show that separation of skin. So just kind of anywhere that there is skin is where I'll darken that up. And everything else we'll just keep as is. So if you need to refine stuff, refine it as you go around. Now I do want to make sure that I do it around all of Edward and all of Alphons, just because it shows that separation between the two characters. Okay, so we don't really have to do it too much through here, but as we drop down past his hair, again, just sticking with the outside. That kind of makes him pop off the page a little bit. Now I just gotta do it to Al over here. Go up around. Okay, I'm gonna go around the bandana as well. almost done. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I inspired you to watch a new show, for sure. And I would love to see your progress and your artwork. So if you want to, you can share with me on Twitter at WickedArt5. I'd love to take a look at your stuff and see how much you're getting better. Heck, some of you, if you've been here with me long enough and you've been putting in that extra practice on the homework, you might be better than me by now. And that's okay. I always look to improve and always look to get better. And I have no problems with any of my listeners or students getting better than I do. Because that is the goal, is to just teach you some basics and have some fun and watch you learn and grow with your own style. Part of the fun of doing this for me. Okay, so now we have finished our cells. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to do the same thing I did down here. Add in some of that shading detail there. But that finishes our Alphons and Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I will see you in the next one. Keep sketching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.